Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode, Let's Talk Internet Computer podcast. Today, our guest is a special guest, is also a friend, and is the founder of Internet Computer Services, Ritvick Paliwal. Thank you so much, Ritvick, for joining us today. It's a
Thank
real
you, Himran.
pleasure. Yeah, it's a real pleasure know more about you and your experience and about the Internet Computer Services. I think it's useful for the community. Start to like spread the word about this type of projects. That is super cool. And yeah,
Mhm.
thank you for joining us today, Ritvick.
Sure. So, hello, ICP community. My name is Ritvick. I'm founder of Internet Computer Services. I got involved with Internet Computer for more than a year ago. Since after the Genesis, I got to read about what Definity is doing and what are the plans for Internet Computer are in the future. And that's where I dive deep into how the Internet Computer ecosystem works. I come from a technical background and have been involved in software engineering industry for more than 12 years. So I
Mhm.
could better connect what Internet Computer was doing in the background and how it differs from traditional blockchain ledger-based technologies like Ethereum and Solana.
Hmm. Awesome, great. And yeah, tell us more about your background, your origins. You're from India, right?
Yeah, I come from a small town in northwestern part of India.
Uh-huh.
But then after I graduated from my school, I went to a college in a neighboring city, and then I moved to southern part of India, in Bangalore, which is usually known as the tech hub of the country. And
Hmm.
that's where I spent my initial 4 years. I started working with Motorola Mobility as a software engineer. That time, everything was supposed to be coded in C, C++. And then I got a chance to work with one of the big giants, which is Amazon. And that time, Amazon was heavily expanding in Asian countries. So
Uh-huh.
that's where I got to know more about like how Western companies are operating on a very high scale and high productive environment. And I learned a lot about Amazon Web Services as well,
Hmm.
which then basically brought the whole concept of cloud computing to the Web2 world.
Awesome, awesome. And then you moved to Vancouver or to now you are in Ottawa, right? You live in Canada?
Yeah, I live in Canada, but before moving to Canada, I moved to US. So
Okay.
after my job at Amazon, I did my master's in software engineering
Hmm.
from San Jose State University, California, and there I got a chance to meet with like a lot of intelligent people and people who wanted to do something of their own. It's usually known as Silicon Valley, and that's where I
Hmm.
got a chance to work with like a lot of startups operating in the Bay Area region. And
Hmm.
then I got introduced to this whole the world of where people can come and create something of their own, and which can be used by a billion people, which can be useful for a billion people as well. And then I spent my few years in San Jose. I spent around like 2.5 years, and then I moved to Seattle, Washington. I started working with Microsoft out of Greater Seattle area. Spend time there learning like how Microsoft is operating and the whole direction Microsoft was taking into metaverse field. And then I finally decided I had to do something of my own as well. And due to visa
Hmm.
restrictions, since I come from India, that
Yeah.
was not technically feasible for me. So then I moved to Vancouver. I joined a small school there and
Hmm.
again started helping a lot of startup to bootstrap their products from just an idea to a 1.0 or an MVP version. And then I finally moved and settled on the East Coast. And yeah, I started Internet Computer Services 4 months back.
Awesome, great, perfect. Yeah, before to like enter like more in the company and how it works and everything, just I would like to know more about your experience in just for maybe in our audience we have like people as ours, like people like try to travel around the world or maybe start their lives in other countries. This is tough. Normally, people have to start from the scratch. And in your case, the migration to other countries, in that case to US and then Canada, for you, like maybe the past was like yeah, new challenges, new opportunities, but sometimes it's like a threat, start from the scratch in other country. And in your case, your story is like pretty successful. How you manage this type of experience and things, and if you can share with the community your opinion and how you feel the first years or when you move it to another country. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Hilver, you're totally correct. It comes with a cost and it's always a fresh start. So to be honest, like even when I migrated from one city to another in India as well, it was a fresh start for me because you have to again, settle in the new city, get to know about different things and how would you operate there. So when I moved to US, it was pretty tough for me because I had to leave a good paying job back in India. And then I had
Mm-hmm.
to spend like many $1,000s here to pay my tuition fee, to bear my daily expenses, and that too for 2 years. You cannot earn pretty much, right? So like due to visa restrictions for the first year you cannot even work like people can work here in Canada, and in the second year of your course you can probably just work in the stream of study what you are doing. So it's not like
Mm-hmm.
something you can do any of the odd jobs and basically sustain yourself. So yeah, moving from one country to another is always a new beginning or a fresh start. And when I moved from US to Canada as well, again it was a fresh start for me because people operate differently in different parts of the world, right? And there are many
Yeah.
challenges in any system. So even if you consider like how the states work, it's completely different from how Canada works. And in
Mm-hmm.
that case it is totally different how different Asian countries works, right? And even with the web implementation, there are different policies which govern different aspects of the society where we work in. But I see the world is slowly shifting from Web 1 to Web 2 to Web 3, and people will start collaborating or operating more in a democracies which can be operated across the borders basically. And we'll see
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of decentralized autonomous organizations will be evolving, so people literally do not have to migrate from one part of the world to another just to fulfill their dreams or to experience what the other countries are doing. That's what I have faced.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And yeah, it's also about your passion or your background is like in software engineering. You're an expert for sure, like on code and all the IT things related with the software. And my question is, how you like start like to merge or join the community in terms of the crypto blockchain and use your skills and use your way to work and use exactly your knowledge in the crypto industry and in the blockchain, and how you feel like interested for this world because it's like pretty new. Uh, is something like it's passionate and something like we have a lot to do in the future. How you start to engage with a crypto community and start your process from your studies, from your university to convert in a real world, right? In transfer your knowledge to something like this useful for the community in general, for the world in the industry, in the blockchain industry.
Sure, sure. So the world has changed a lot. The technologies which I learned in school are no more relevant in these days, right? So like I learned C++, Java. By the time I was in the industry, there were technologies like Python, Golang, and JavaScript and whatnot. And now we are seeing like a lot of new grads who will be coming out of their school. Probably they'll just hop on to Web3 technologies directly, whether it be Solidity, Rust, or Motoko or whatnot. But I've
Hmm.
seen over my careers, it does not depend on technology. All the technology works on basically the same concepts in the background. There are some
Uh-huh.
logics which you feed into the computer. There are certain steps which you tell computers to repeat. It's just the way of talking to computer change, and the way change in a better way. So let's say in the old era, like past 10 years, if I had to do one thing, I would write like 1,000 lines of code, and the technology is only making this way of interacting with computer much better. In Web2 world, when you have like Node.js, when you have AWS, cloud technologies, it's very easy for developers to quickly build, which was not possible in like certain years back because you had to do a lot of things by yourself. Let's say if you had to host your own website, you'll have to have knowledge of servers, right? Where
Hmm.
you host your websites. How do
Yeah.
you procure it? What software you'll install? But with Web 2, those challenges were not any more challenges for developers. You just focus on writing a website, and then
Hmm.
AWS will take care of hosting and everything, right? So we
Right.
transitioned from a very read heavy world where people were just consuming content and were not contributing the content. That was Web 1 part of the world. In Web 2, people started contributing content as well with Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and whatnot. And now we are in a Web 3 era where people will own those content as well by either owning a Web 3 projects or Web 3 DAOs. And for people who are wanting to flock onto these new technologies, it will be a very easy transition in terms of if you see the paradigm, how the technology is working. It's just the way of talking to the technology is a little bit different.
Awesome. Yes, and now like you start like a few months ago or a year ago, or I'm not sure exactly when, an amazing project, Internet Computer Services. You are the founder, Ritvick. That's pretty awesome, the project, honestly. The community wants to know exactly how you like start this company, Internet Computer Services. It was one of the winners at the last Supernova Hackathon in the Blue Sky category. You received like a grant from Definity. This is something because they trust in your project, and they think it's like behind of the project is something pretty valuable for the community and pretty strong. Yeah, explain us a little bit more about Internet Computer Services, how you start or how you create the company, and how you decided to like move one step forward and go further with Internet Computer Services.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, Internet Computer Services was not even an idea 1 month before Supernova Hackathon. And before Supernova Hackathon, I was building and creating multiple dApps for enterprises. So like there are many companies who literally want to have their footsteps in Web3, but they really don't know like where to go, whether they should go to Ethereum, but then people fear there are like a lot of high gas fees during our bull markets. They don't want to embrace Ethereum. And then people wanted to flock onto Solana, and then IC came last year in March or April. So I did a couple of projects, enterprise projects on IC, and those technologies were basically very useful from an enterprise use case. If you consider the zero gas fee model for the user, or you can call it a reverse gas fee model as well, and that to the high scaling and scalability speed on the internet computer. So after doing those two projects, I realized that, okay, with every project, each and every team will go through certain similar steps. First, even after from coding, they'll have to manage their internet identities, or they'll have to have some sort of wallets. They have to understand what canisters are, what cycles are. They have to procure ICP from a centralized exchange. They'll have to convert it to cycles, and then they have to basically deploy their application to the internet computer. And this process repeats with every application. So as part of Supernova, I got a chance to interact with a lot of other participants as well, who were wanting to develop something on internet computer, but were facing the very similar challenges. There is a bit of learning curve, and then there is a bit of operations and management curve. So that's where I thought ICS would be a better platform or a product in the community, which can give all these facilities to the users or the developers of the system, where they do not have to worry about the whole DevOps part of the cycle and what happens after my smart contract is deployed on the internet computer. How do I manage it? How do I track it? You do not have to reinvent the whole wheel with every new project coming to the internet computer ecosystem. So that's where the idea of Internet Computer Services spinned up. And it's very similar to Amazon Web Services if you consider it in Web 2 world, where everyone knew how the VM used to work, the virtual machines, but still Amazon Web Services gave a layer on top of it, where it made easier for developers to build much quicker and faster. And then what we saw like boom of a lot of applications using Amazon Web Services. People were able to spin up new technologically innovative products within a span of few months. So yeah, with ICS, we are initially targeting to give a complete canister management suite so that it's very easy for developers. They do not need to have a big learning curve. They can just come, they can code, and ICS will take care of building their code, deploying their code, and then taking care of their code on the internet ecosystem afterwards.
And then regards the services or the Internet Computer Services, also the features. I see on the webpage, you have like different projects inside the Internet Computer Services. Is regards like with canisters, like cycles, as you mentioned before, also NFTs, tokens, how to start like a company, like tokenize the company and get the coins or the tokens in that case, also the marketplace, SQS. Yeah, can you explain us more about the different services? I know like it's pretty maybe complex or it's like pretty long to see different, but at least like a brief introduction about the different services that internet computer services can do for the community. For example, if I am a new developer and I want to like create my own NFT collection, or I want to like start to build something in internet computer, how ICS can help me to do these things? What is exactly your service for the community? And yeah, if you can
Yeah.
explain us a little bit more, please.
Yeah, sure. So to explain it in a layman terms, apart from canister management, which is very technically savvy for developers, but then there are users in the market who literally want to do or create their own NFT projects, and for that they need to probably launch their own ICRC1 token, or it can be an NFT token and whatnot they want to do. And these people are not technically savvy, so ICS basically just give them a dashboard, sort of a look and feel, where they can come and just feed in the details, and they can just pay using their credit cards. And ICS will take care of the whole internet computer side of the thing, procuring ICPs, converting into cycles, creating canisters, deploying their NFT collections and whatnot. So that way, even for non-technical users, ICS is a gateway entry for people to interact with internet computer in a very smooth and easy way. And talking about NFTs, it's just one example. So ICS is a big umbrella, and multiple applications will sit inside ICS. So we are aggressively working on a marketplace feature as well. So consider in 2012 or 13, when open source blogging platforms came out like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, everybody knew these software exists, but people literally didn't know how to basically deploy it, how to install it, or how to use it, right? So similar way, people will be creating decentralized applications, which will be very useful for common users. So ICS will give the provision so that users can go to the marketplace. It will be very similar to either Google Play or Apple Store, where you can browse through different applications, and then you can choose to install those applications for yourself. And then with just one click, you'll be able to spin up your completely decentralized application on the ecosystem, which is completely owned by you. And then you can basically just use it in the future. Yeah, and apart from it, when you considered about new projects launching on internet computer ecosystem, we are aggressively tracking the SNS feature from internet computer itself. And then we plan to give a very embedded solution for SNS as well. So let's say if a person operating a very small business in the traditional world, he or she wants to operate in the Web3 world using SNS, they can open their DAO, they can generate token easily. And they do not even have to worry about like, how do I manage my wallets? What if I lose my identities in the Ledger wallet? They can just come and link their Google account and get away with it.
Okay, and it's running for sure in internet computer. Why you choose the ICP blockchain? What is the advantages in your case or in your project? And because there are a lot of in the ecosystem, a lot of different blockchains. In your opinion, what do you think about ICP blockchain and the work that Definity is working now? And what is for you your opinion maybe for the next years, and how like ICP can like get the best blockchain in the world? Because we need to spread the word. People now knows more about other blockchains. Maybe they do like more noise and more marketing campaigns, but they don't finish the job. They don't finish the blockchain. Just start from the marketing side and then start to build. But in case of internet computer and Definity, they just start like put the base and start from the ground, the house, from the beginning, with a strong IT department, with a strong like engineering, software developers, PhDs, and start to grow the company with good walls and good base. And now it's start a little bit more about spread the word, about marketing campaigns and everything. But in your opinion, how ICS benefits about the blockchain internet computer, and for you, what is the future for this blockchain?
Sure. So yeah, it took me a while to figure out what internet computer was doing, to be honest. I got involved with crypto in 2017, and that time Bitcoin and Ethereum were the two prominent crypto technologies. Now, to set a context here, in 2008 or 9, when Bitcoin got invented, people only got the power to move money in a decentralized manner, right? And then it took 5 years for Ethereum to come and then to realize Ethereum's potential in 2021. Previously, Ethereum was just again a ledger technology for moving money here and there. But then the programmatic capability came to Ethereum. And that's the power Ethereum gave to developers what to do with it. And we saw decentralized exchanges like Uniswap and whatnot, where the money movement is happening out, the people are trading with each other, not far away from centralized control. But these technologies have a very strict limitations. Since these are ledger technologies, the whole data is open, right? It sits on a ledger. And that too, it comes with like a lot of scaling issues because it was never meant to solve the scalability aspect of it. Now, talking about internet computer, it's a very innovative science experiment, to be honest, where it is challenging the protocols of the traditional internet stack and then completely reinventing it in a decentralized manner. So I would say ICP is not just a blockchain. It is a decentralized cloud which leverages blockchain and ledger technology in the background. And with decentralized cloud, you get infinite speed and infinite scalability, which are problems with even the new solutions, layer 2 solutions like Matic, or even if you consider other layer 1 solutions like Solana, these things are not there. And then there are other blockchains in the market, let's say Filecoin, Arweave, which are just coming as a storage solutions or a decentralized storage solutions. So I see ICP as a whole new internet where developers and users are getting infinite compute, infinite storage, and infinite scalability. And that too, honoring the basic principles of blockchain where everything goes to a consensus and the participating nodes validate what users are doing. Now, in terms of how Internet Computer Services is helping to grow the IC ecosystem, so that's the sole mission where we just want to empower developers to use Internet Computer as quickly as possible. So developers with very zero friction, they can come in and start developing, and rest everything will be taken care by ICS. And ultimately, all the dApps sitting on IC ecosystem, their agenda is to become immutable in the future, right? So let's say the problems which we saw with Robinhood, the problems which we saw with Uniswap, like AWS enforcing Uniswap to do things which Uniswap didn't want it to do, these things will not happen on the Internet Computer Protocol because everything is totally decentralized. No single entity has a complete control or the authority to say anything in any of the dApps business.
Awesome. And for example, yeah, if I'm like an e-commerce or if I have my own business, whatever business, I have a shop and in the web 2, and I want to like start to do the same on the blockchain, more decentralized, more secure, and I have the control of my own data and my clients and everything. I can like have the help of ICS and you can help me to start build my web page and my business, my e-commerce in the internet computer ecosystem. This is something like ICS can do now, for example, or takes time, or if you can explain, yeah, how like in general the public in general, the e-commerce and people like owners of different companies can start to build on ICP, and how you can help them to go one step farther and start to build on the web3.
Sure. So the websites will still be built in the same way. So people will have to build websites in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and whatnot. But with Internet Computer Services, we have launched the features of deploying static websites to Internet Computer with just few clicks. So any person who already have their websites ready, they can come to Internet Computer Services. They can probably link up their GitHub repositories or upload the zip file, and then their whole website will be deployed to the Internet Computer. And that's what we are offering right now. Now, moving forward, when people will start moving their whole businesses in terms of their, let's say, a Shopify store, we are just empowering developers to build Shopify stores using Internet Computer. And once they are ready, they will seamlessly integrate with our marketplace feature where businesses can come in and just one click and deploy their own Shopify store in a decentralized manner. So yeah, at one place, we are giving people facilities to at least host their static websites in a quick and easy manner. But then we are not a consulting company who will be writing code for for different businesses. It will have to come through developers then, but we give the whole hosting infrastructure and making the whole process very streamlined to host things on IC.
Awesome. That's great. Because also, yeah, I did an interview like a few weeks ago with Human Sadab, the owner of ICME, and it's pretty cool because honestly, like between ICME and ICS, both jobs are really nice because ICME like can build web pages in the Web3 and help the people like same as Wix, but in the
Yeah,
decentralized manner in the Web3. And then ICS is same as AWS, Amazon Web Services, but in a decentralized manner. And this is something like both projects are pretty related. It's different, but are pretty related and can like join us, can join the different aspects for try to migrate people from the Web 2 and the old internet to the new Web 3.0. And yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. That you can help people like from the beginning, even if they don't have like a lot of experience in coding. You grab the hand and you go step by step with the people, the owners or the engineerings or whatever to try to develop in internet computer. That's awesome. And about the communication for the ICS, you have your Discord channel. This is the main way to communicate with the team. People like can, if they have questions, they can try to like reach out to you for the services or for questions that they have. Yeah, can you explain more about the
sure.
different
Yeah.
social media channels, Twitter, Discord? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So we have our official website at internetcomputerservices.com. And then we have our Twitter channel, which is ICS_Web3. And that's mainly to introduce ourselves to community. But then we have a very closed Discord channel where we literally want people who are really interested in building on internet computer. So that's where people can come in and start discussing multiple things among themselves as well as with us. We also plan to share a lot of knowledge on how to create different dApps on the internet computer. Since we are already in the ecosystem for 1 year, we learned a lot of technical aspects of it and what are the challenges which people might face or developer might face in their initial stages when they have a big learning curve and how to create different applications. So we have a dedicated community in our Discord, and our Discord link is mentioned on our website. And developers and people who are literally interested in building on top of internet computer, they're very much welcome to come there and ask questions to us and collaborate with each other. And saying that, I just forgot to mention, we are also giving developers or the early developers 2 trillion cycles for free. So they do not have to pay anything out of their pocket. They can just come to Internet Computer Services and start building and just play around with different tools and technologies and experience how Internet Computer works.
Wow, that is great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for building in ICP, yeah, you need cycles, right? You need to burn cycles, and you need to buy like cycles as like at the tokens, and you gave for the community like free for start to build from the scratch the web pages or in that case the projects that people have, right?
That's correct.
That's awesome. And what is the next milestones for ICS? For you, ICS is like a new project, but in 3 or 5 years, where you think ICS is going to like go? Is like a start like maybe like students or a start for help the community, the owners or business owners, or what is exactly you think in 3 to 5 years ICS is? Yeah.
So in the short term, I would say like our immediate goal for down the line 6 months to 1 year is to get as many as developers and get a feel of internet computer in a very friendly manner. And we really want to empower developers to build their applications much quicker, to ship their applications much quicker, and to keep monitoring and topping off their canisters in a very easy way. So our future goals will just revolve around these basic principles where we start and we keep building multiple tools which can empower developers. So for example, even in traditional world, if you see Amazon Web Services, there are many technical services in the background like queuing services, workers, cron jobs, and whatnot. All these things will be part of Web3 applications as well, as these are like fundamental building blocks. We'll keep on building small services, of course, with engagement of community, what new features they want first. And then we'll keep on building these so that developers can just use these services within their decentralized applications rather than reinventing the wheel. And that's where we just want to empower developers to build, ship, and manage their dApps faster in Internet Computer.
Hmm. Awesome. Great, great, great. That sounds really interesting, the project. I'm not sure if you want to add something more about ICS, about the services, about the company. Now you're working in start to like have like build your team, and there are like behind the scenes, there are like people that working every day with you. Yeah, maybe you can share a little bit more about the team or how you work in general, like day to day, or yeah, your daily basis for like your job in general, if you're focusing more now in build or you're focusing more in start to like do like marketing campaigns, or how you manage ICS for, because this is pretty new and people needs to know more about the project, right? And all the services that you offer and all the solutions that you can share with the community, or for like a new people like start from the scratch in ICP and they don't know
Yeah,
maybe anything about the blockchain. We have to
yeah.
do like a big job for like people realize what is exactly ICP blockchain and why is the best one, and how like they can build everything in a scalability, in a more secure thing, in also the fastest blockchain. Yeah, in that case, how you like manage all these things about internally, like with your team, and what is your expectations? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So with Supernova, Internet Computer Services was just a concept, and we did a proof of concept there, and we were fortunate enough to came fifth in the Blue Sky category, and
Uh-huh.
that's where we got little validation of our idea. Okay, this is something what community wants, and since then, like we have spent 3 to 4 months, and then we have created our initial 1.0 offering, which is basically empowering anybody to host their static websites. So even like small businesses, individual NFT projects, any gamer DAO, they can come and start using Internet Computer Services and deploy their websites to Internet Computer. In terms of where, how do we work? We are a complete remote team of 5 people. Three of us are engineers. So I myself come from a technical background. So I am pretty much hands-on in creating Internet Computer Services. But at the very same time, we have like talented engineers who are working day and night completely remotely in different time zones. And then we just want to reiterate our product as quickly as possible so that it can get a product market fit and where user can start consuming it in the way they want.
Hmm.
We have stepped up our marketing a little bit, and that's where we'll be talking to multiple people in the community. We want to spread the word as well. We have stepped up our Twitter marketing, and we really want people to start interact with our social channels and help us spread the word as well. Because if we spread Internet Computer Services as a company or a product which helps people build much faster in Internet Computer, we'll get a very high adaptability of Internet Computer as well. And we want our canisters to go up. We want our cycles to be burned at a much faster rate so that people can realize the potential of it. And then we have a world where we have a very fair and free internet, which is owned by the community itself.
Hmm. Awesome. That's amazing. Okay, yeah, just for finish the interview, yeah, I'm not sure if you have something more to share with the community, if you want to add something more, or just encourage like people to enter in the web page of ICS and see how it works and discover a little bit more what is ICS doing, your team, and how like they can take advantage about the technology of internet computer. Yeah, go ahead if you want to share something more for the ICP
Yeah.
community and like people for a start now to realize what is the blockchain, the ICP blockchain.
Yeah, I would just close with saying any new developer coming to IC ecosystem, don't be afraid about whether it is much of a complex thing or whether it is very hard to build something on an internet computer. And that's where the mission of ICS stands as well. We really want you to have a very smoother onboarding experience to internet computer ecosystem. So I would
Mhm.
just ask new developers who are coming to the ecosystem, go through GitHub tutorials. There are many on YouTube. There are few interesting Udemy courses as well, and you can learn basic concepts of internet computer as well as you can use ICS. You do not have to pay anything from your pocket and just start building it. And we are there with you as a partner in success. We want to empower you. to build many innovative apps, which the humanity haven't seen till yet.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much, Ritvick Paliwal, yeah, the founder of Internet Computer Services, for joining us today, for sharing with the community a little bit more about your project, your ideas, and yeah, to help and be useful for the community. We need like projects as yours, your project, Internet Computer Services. It's a real pleasure, yeah, stay with you today and the conversation. And we have like a second part is in YouTube and the social about more showing a demo because that's good. Explain, the voice and everything, but people want to know more visual things and people want to know more about the project and see how it works. Yeah, maybe the day that we post the interview, also there is a second part that people can see how Ritvick use the demo and use the Internet Computer Services, and yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Also, like, so how it works.
Sure. We'll definitely do a demo and we'll show the community so that even people who want to see how things literally work, they can just watch a video and then can just follow it and incorporate in their daily development practices. And thank you, Javier, for having me here. And I know you're doing an incredible job, and I'm deeply humbled by it. You doing everything to spread the word of ICP and educating the whole community.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for your words, Ritvick. Yeah, see you soon. Thank you everyone for joining us today and listen the interview to Ritvick Paliwal. Yeah, have a good day. Thank you so much.
You too.
See
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks.